Hello and welcome to the Moment Podcast, live from 100.3 KMUL The Mule and YouTube if you're watching on there. Today, my name is Rudy, and today I'm joined by my co-host Michael. Um, Today we will be listening to the album Chinese Fountain by the Growlers. If you are currently listening to the radio, just stay tuned as we're about to play the full album, maybe minus one song, unless we can find the radio edit for it. And if you are watching on YouTube, make sure to pause the video, go listen to Chinese Fountain by the Growlers, and then come back for our discussion. Um, yeah, so we're about to play the full album, Chinese Fountain by the Growlers, on the moment, live from 100.3 KMUL The Mule. We'll see you guys in a bit. And we are back. Um, Before we get into the discussion, per usual, I will give some context to who the Growlers are and what their album Chinese Fountain is about. So the Growlers are an American band formed in Southern California in 2006. Known for blending surf rock, garage rock, psych, and smoky lo-fi pop into a style they famously dubbed beach goth. I've never heard that, but I can kind of see it with this. Fronted by singer Brooks Nielsen, the band built a cult following through constant touring, DIY aesthetics, and a sound that feels equal parts sun-soaked and emotionally off-kilter. Very off-kilter. Their music often mixes upbeat, jangly instrumentation with lyrics about heartbreak, existential dread, and strange California characters. Over the years, the Growlers shifted from raw surf garage recordings to more polished, groove heavy productions, all while maintaining a laid back, hazy edge that makes them instantly recognizable. Yeah, very hazy. That's a really good word to describe them. So about their album Chinese Fountain, it released in 2014 and marked a turning point for the Growlers, a move towards a sleeker, more danceable sound while still keeping their signature beach goth charm. The album leans into funky bass lines, tighter grooves, and pop-leaning melodies, giving the band a fresh sense of momentum. Brooks Nielsen's grave Brooke Nielsen's gravely gravelly. Oh, there you go. Brooke Nielsen's gravelly voice delivers lyrics without aging, nightlife, and existential burnout with a mix of sarcasm and sincerity. The title track, Chinese Fountain, became a fan favorite for its hypnotic rhythm and laid back swagger. The album stands as one of their most accessible and fully realized releases, capturing the Growlers at the moment they bridged their scrappy beginnings with a more refined, synth friendly direction. Cool. Michael, first impressions.
I've listened to this album a million times. It's one of my favorites. I love it to death. There's like no skippable songs on here for me. I just I really like it.
Yeah, it I agree. Definitely no skips for me either. This album actually also is very influential for me, and I hadn't even of listened to the full thing until Michael showed me it yesterday. And but there are select songs out of this that I listened to when I was in middle school because my brother's friend showed me this album, and it genuinely, like, it was some of the first, like, what I would describe when I was that age, like, as like indie music. Like, that was
Yeah.
the first like indie music I heard. It was Rare Hearts was the one I was
That's
always
a
playing.
Yeah.
But I also listened to Big Toe and Love Test. Those were the songs that I listened to in middle school, but it just stemmed like me getting outside of just like, the stuff I was really like, just like the normal hip hop I was listening to at the time, just kind of the more popular stuff. It showed me a new side to music where I wasn't really like into it yet. And kind of just opened my eyes to what was out there. Very, very cool album. And
Yeah.
a very interesting atmosphere. It is like it it one feels like you should be listening to this album at night. Like it almost
Yeah.
all feels recorded at night.
Mhm.
And I did read that it was like there's a lot of songs that kind of are based on like LA nightlife that some of the band members can relate to. I think they all grew up in California. Maybe LA was where they were at or they just visited, but also just a big music place. But yeah, awesome album. I was a huge fan, and it. I'm glad to like finally listen to the full thing because it was totally worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to start off with they talked about how um, this album was like a more refined version of what they had before. So I don't know much about the Growlers. They were just one of many indie bands that I kind of got put on when I was younger, and I so I don't really know like what is that evolution very obvious? Have you listened to some of that stuff?
Yeah, I've listened to some of the Growlers' earlier stuff, and it definitely feels more polished. A lot of their earlier stuff feels like I don't know how to like mixtapes.
Mm.
It feels like they like took it straight off of like the recording and everything.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think this is the first Growlers album that feels polished and like I don't want to say professional because it is professional, but
Clean.
like clean, yeah.
Yeah, it is really clean, but also like as we're talking about it, it really has me thinking I could totally listen to them like from a tape, like with some
Yeah.
grimy, mixing going on, something that doesn't sound totally clear. This is a sound that would totally fit that for me. Um, yeah, I was surprised to hear that because um, it sounds like it was a really, really heavy shift from what they typically had before this album. So the album Chinese Fountain, I keep wanting to call it Chinese Mountain. um, but yeah, Chinese Fountain. So we talked about the title track, Chinese Fountain. Apparently, that song almost didn't make the album either.
Really?
The title track. Yeah.
I wonder what it would have been called, or if they still would have called it Chinese Fountain, or if they would have called it something else.
Yeah, probably just the name of one of the other songs.
I don't know.
But it says it was a very, very late addition to the album. And it says it ended up becoming the album's defining moment, which I kind of disagree with.
Yeah.
Because there are more standout songs to me, one, but also that is definitely not the biggest song on the album, at least anymore.
Like I know, like I looked through their listens. I think When the Going Gets Tough is their most listened.
Oh, really?
If I'm not mistaken, either that one or Big Toe.
Yeah. I would have assumed Big Toe, but that's interesting. That's a really
Black
good
Memories
one.
is up there too.
Yeah. Okay. So that was one of my new favorites that I never heard before. That one was amazing.
It's so good. What I like about this album is that Brooks Nielsen did a live cover of the entire album on tour one time.
Was it with was it at like a specific studio?
I can't remember where it was, but it was a live performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the entire album live, and it sounds amazing too.
Yeah, do they have that on Spotify?
Yeah, I think it's just called Chinese Fountain Live. It's
Yeah.
under Brooks Nielsen instead of the Growlers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I need to listen to that. So I don't know much about Brooks Nielsen. Do you?
I mean, I've done too much research, but I know he's just seems like an interesting guy. Like the way he dresses and the way he carries himself, the way like he's always like I don't know how to say like the star of the albums, and like he's got a different like look or personality for each one, which I really like. Like especially
really?
this one, yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know that. Kind of like like does he take it as far as like Tyler the Creator would?
No, I wouldn't
like
say
a full persona.
No, I wouldn't say it's full persona. It just his outfit matches the album.
Yeah. I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like there's a lot of people that do that. Especially like bigger pop people. I love when people do that. I think it kind of they're kind of trying to preserve that feeling that they felt when they made the album to kind of translate it into their live performances. And
Yeah.
I also think it can just help give context kind of to what you're hearing. I always love that. So do you think this album was like heavily influenced by the 80s, or do you think there was just a touch of that? Because I was reading a lot and they were saying a lot of 80s influence, but I wasn't getting a whole lot of that.
Yeah, I didn't really pick up on a lot of '80s influence. It felt more indie. Like
Yeah.
it just felt like an indie album. I wouldn't say it felt '80s.
Yeah.
Because like there were,
I think they're
they were
talking like
80s.
synths maybe.
Yeah.
But even the synths don't feel super 80s.
No.
To me, this is like really like psychedelic, like cowboy music to me. Like the vocals are very like
The
almost
Growlers feels like
country
that.
in
Like
a
if you
way.
like that kind of vibe, that's what the Growlers basically are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's really cool. I guess beach goth is another way to put it. I
Yeah.
think that kind of incorporates the guitar style into it too. That beach rock kind of sound with like the high pitch little plucks.
A lot of the songs like Magnificent Sadness, Love Test, a lot of them are just sad and like darker. So yeah, I feel like it definitely like covers the darker side of LA.
Yeah. So I think I get that. Now I've never been to LA and I wouldn't really know, but
I have. I've been before, like once.
would you say you could like translate this
No.
like
I didn't go at night. It was like
I
it was
wouldn't
just a-
go at night.
No. It was just a family trip to LA,
Yeah.
but
This
I
is
can
the
see where it's coming
Growlers.
from because like drawing influence from like other movies and TV shows and like stories from people who have been in Hollywood and stuff like that. I can see why.
Yeah. All the sounds work together perfectly.
Yeah,
it creates such an atmosphere where you're just you know, after that first song, you're just in it. You don't even question kind of where they're going with it. You kind of are just there. And I love that. I think it doesn't feel like something that's conceptual, but it is all just like a world within the album for sure.
Yeah.
Just through the sounds. And I also don't think like all the songs are about the same thing either. Like it's not.
Yeah, it varies.
Yeah. Says one of the fan favorites from this album is "Going Gets Tough." A lot of listeners really like the message behind that album and just like or that song and just like the grooviness of it. I agree. I thought it was a really good song.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite, but it's absolutely groovy, and I feel like that was one of my main appeal points for this. Like most of them, I know are gonna be groovy. How
Yeah.
groovy is it gonna get for me?
Yeah.
Like, never too much and never not enough. All of them really just felt like dark, but I could tap my foot to it. You know, it's nothing that's like that makes me. I don't. This is a lie, actually. What I was about to say is a lie. I was about to say I don't really get like sad to these songs. But I remember when I was younger, I was like,
There were a few that I get sad
I was
to,
like,
but like for the most part,
yeah,
they're
the
funny.
the love test song. I used to be
That
like,
one, yeah,
that's
that
me,
one's sad.
bro.
The one that gets me is Magnificent Sadness.
Yeah, got it in the name. Yeah, no, it is sad, but the album doesn't feel like it's one sad
Yeah, it shows both
project.
sides.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to get into this album cover.
I feel like it fits the album so well.
It does. It looks like it's taken at night. It's like those neon signs. It looks like it's kind of in like a Chinatown area.
Yeah.
With that little those Chinese symbols below. I don't know what they
I don't know either.
are, but
I
what
want
it
to. I
says.
want to say it's Chinese fountain, but I haven't looked.
Yeah,
It
that
up,
would be
so
cool.
it makes sense.
Do you think that would fit within like I don't know how it works, but yeah, two little symbols. Yeah, I totally think this cover fits the album perfectly. I love that. I love when a cover just like totally matches it. And I kind of think it helps kind of like kind of like how I do with books. Like I absolutely judge a book by its cover, and when I see an album cover that I really like, I'm clicking on it.
Yeah.
Like it appeals to me. And then if I were to just look at the album cover and then listen to the album again, I would say, yeah, that totally fits. Like it is. It feels like these neon lights at night, and the font too. It feels like it feels kind of like this neo country cowboy kind of
Yeah,
font,
it does. Yeah, that's a good way to explain
to
it.
match like the vocals. I really like the country. It's like these like the country kind of accent twang a little bit in his voice, but nothing like country in any way. It's super cool and super unique. They are a really unique band. And I honestly I thought a lot of I thought a lot of indie music was gonna be like these guys when I was listening to it, and I couldn't really find much later on, and I realized that these people are very much a specific band that doesn't really have much people you can point to that are similar, which I like. So we are running out of time. And I would like to get into what we typically do, talk about our favorite song from the album, our rating for the album, and our rating for the album cover, and just some reason why for all those. So how about you start, Michael?
So my favorite song is a tie between Black Memories and Magnificent Sadness. I loved both of them to death. But I just can't pick one over the other. For the album cover, I think I'd give it like a 9.5 out of 10. I think it fits the album so well. It feels hazy. It feels dark. And I really like that. And I think I'd give the album a 10 out of 10.
Nice.
It's just one of my favorite albums, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it really is up there with like most stuff that I classify as like the indie genre now. From back then when I was younger, this is very standout, and I think a lot of people can agree that it is was like early into when people started giving indie making it more of a genre than being like an independent artist. I think this is one of those that fits into that category very, very heavily.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for me, the album, I would give it a 9 out of 10. I absolutely love it, and I love the influence it had on me when I was younger, even if I didn't hear the whole thing. All I knew from the Growlers was from this album, and it really just pushed me into finding a bunch of more music that I was not used to at the time with my young, naive brain. Yeah, album cover, 10 out of 10, just because it has stuck with me for so long. Like, I could imagine it instantly if you were to tell me this album. Like, it is stuck with me since I seen it. And it just matches everything within the album perfectly. And so, obviously, I can really get behind that. And favorite song. This is hard for me because I know when I was younger, I would have said Rare Hearts because I just listened to that song so much. But now I would say it is Big Toe because when I first met my girlfriend, we made a little collaboration playlist together, and she put that song in there. So when we would hang out, we would just play this playlist, and that song would come up a lot. So it reminds me of that, which really fit too because when we would hang out, we would just go and drive around at night. There's nothing to do here in Warrensburg. We would just drive and listen to music, and so it was night, and it felt very cathartic with this music, and I think Big Toe. Like when I listened to this album again before the show, um, it just sends me back. I think on top of it just being like that part of that experience for me, it also kind of fits too. It's very fitting. It feels like a love song in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is our opinions on the Growlers album. Some discussion. Very cool album. Both loved it. Next episode, we do not know what album, but you will see. Yeah, that was Chinese Fountain by the Growlers. Thank you guys so much for listening / watching, and we will see you guys in the next episode. See ya.